Hello, magical people. Welcome back to the Daily Astro Show here on the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. It is Friday. It is Friday the 13th. It's not just any Friday. So happy Friday the 13th, everybody. And as always, every Friday, we're going to get into our Western astrological horoscope for the weekend. Okay. And if you'd like to with me, let's just start by taking a deep breath. Because you guys, this is a very intense weekend astrologically. Some of you must think I'm a total freaking drama queen as of late, but I promise you, we are living in times of absolutely not normal astrology. There's nothing about normal about the astrology of these times. And oh my goodness. Yeah, we're going to get into it. So before we get into it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. We really appreciate all of your support, liking the videos, subscribing, sharing if you really enjoy it. And if you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me, those are available at the link below, consultations.beyondmystic.net, and currently starting to be available, I think it's November, if I'm not mistaken, November 2025. And Carla over at Ascension Orgonites has her Father's Day giveaway sale happening currently. This is going to be valid until June 15th. So valid until Sunday. The winners are going to be announced on the 17th. You can use code Father's Day to get 25% off. Carla has amazing Orgonites, Shungites, all kinds of magical things over at ascensionorgonites.com. You can go check that out. So, oh my goodness, filming this Friday the 13th, which I don't consider an unlucky day. I actually consider that as a witch, a good witch. I consider it a very lucky, fertile, creative day when we have Friday the 13th. So we got a magical energy as we're starting off the weekend. And this weekend, okay, why this is so intense is because we're still in the full moon portal. Okay, we had full moon on June 11th in Sagittarius, one of the most intense full moons of the whole year. So we're still, we're in the hangover, we're in the come down from that full moon in Sagittarius, which has been very much like a letting go of beliefs and heavy things that no longer serve us. And you guys, the past few days, I have been getting the weirdest comments, messages, like just situations with people. It's been really weird and a really big test of not taking things personally from others. So, yeah, I feel like the full moon in Sagittarius had a lot to do with that. So we're still lightly in the full moon portal, and we've got Sun square the North Node exact today on Friday the 13th. On Sunday, okay, this is the day we need to watch out for. Sunday. June 15th, we have exact Mars square Uranus and exact Jupiter square Saturn. Two very big challenging aspects, both on the same day. So let's just take this day by day. Let's take this breath by breath. Okay, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this, I promise. Crypto Blonde says, Meg, people are definitely acting strange. They really are. And I'm hearing that Doors song, people are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Love the Doors. People are acting really strange. I think it's from the full moon. I think it's from, the energies are getting lighter and lighter every day. I've been talking so much about how all the outer planets are changing signs into into fire and air signs this year. That is a huge energy shift. That's very unprecedented, right? Fire Within says we keep seeing matrix glitches. Interesting. Linda, hello. Linda says, I always act strange. LOL. Yeah, there's like the good strange and then there's the bad strange, right? I've been noticing, and let me know, you guys, a lot of the bad strange of people projecting their shit onto me and onto people close to me. And it's like so unnecessary and a really big test of, okay, just moving through that, just breathing through that. Okay, we got all the crazies coming out over here. Um, yeah, so let's take this day by day. So today, Friday, June 13th, we are in the last decan of Gemini season. We've got the sun 22 degrees of Gemini. The moon is in Capricorn. Okay, the moon's at detriment in the sign of Capricorn. So that can be, whenever the moon is in Capricorn, there can be a challenge in us processing our emotions in a healthy way. We can be really focused on like our long-term goals, work, responsibility. We can have reality checks coming up to the surface. And we've got exact today, Sun square the nodes. It's actually not just the North Node, it's the North Node and the South Node. And it's interesting, we've been having these squares to the nodes lately. We had Mercury square the nodes. That was, what day was that? Last weekend. Yeah, that was last weekend. So we just went through Mercury square the nodes. We just went through this full moon with square the nodes, and we've still got the sun in square to the nodes. So what is this nodal journey that we're on at the moment, right? The nodes, in my personal astrological opinion, everybody's a little bit different, but that is to me the guiding light of what we are currently releasing overall and what is an alignment for us to be focusing on in the North Node. So the sun is shining a light, even though it's in a square, it's in a T square, it's in a challenging way, shining a light to the South Node and the North Node. So on Friday, it can be really apparent, like what habits, right, in the South Node in Virgo, what habits, what day-to-day work, what health and wellness protocols are not in alignment, are not working, or where we may be not doing our best job in that. And also Sun and square to the North Node, where can we be more in surrender, Pisces? Where can we be more in our spirituality, our creativity, our acts of service, right? Our just surrendering to what is. So this is, very, it's a very auspicious days when we have exact aspects to the nodes of destiny. So there is like a challenging energy in the air where we can be really shown what's working and what's not working, and where are we doing a good job and where we may be slacking a little bit in terms of our health, our wellness, our routines, over perfectionism, right? Sister Nobody Hello says the nodes are across my Pisces sun and Virgo moon. I'm learning my lessons. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's very intense astrology to be going through that right now for sure. So yeah, lessons coming forward, and that square between the sun and the nodes, it's at a Capricorn degree, right? 22 degrees, reality checks, work, long-term goals, older people than us in life, authority figures, government, right? So those can all be highlighted areas. Saturday, June 14th. Happy birthday, President Trump. Okay. Now I know there's some people here, they like President Trump. There's some people that don't like President Trump. If you feel to, I invite you to send some prayers over to President Trump's ways. And, this is not me being negative. This is just me reading the astrology and being honest with you guys about the astrology, that President Trump has some very challenging astrology for the next year. Okay. Hate to say it. I'm not saying anything necessarily bad is going to happen to him. But this is very challenging territory. So why is this? His birthday, Saturday, June 14th. Okay. He's going to have in his new solar return, Mars square Uranus and Jupiter square Saturn, which isn't exact until Sunday the 15th, but very strong adverse aspects in his solar return, bringing instability, challenge. Okay. So, wow. If you want to send prayers his way, I'm definitely going to be sending prayers his way. And I know he's a warrior and he's got a very strong astrological chart, but might even be the most intense year of his life that he's about to have. So just saying that. Okay. Guinness Girl, Ezra posted that someone turned on him from within. So as usual, you are dead on Meg. Yeah. He's got, Mars has been going through his 12th house, hidden enemies, for sure. So yeah, President Trump's birthday, June 14th. And on June 14th, we've got two interesting things happening. The No Kings protests, rallies at roughly 2,000 sites planned for Saturday all over the US on the same day as Trump's birthday and US president's military parade. So, the media lies. So we'll see how big this is actually going to be. But being real with you guys, that these No King protests happening on a weekend with Mars in square to Uranus, Jupiter in square to Saturn, this is probably going to be fucked up. Okay, this is probably going to be really intense. And I want to be wrong about that. I don't want to be right about that. Crypto Blonde says the Soros paid agitators. Yes, definitely. So we're going to see some people acting really crazy with Mars, the planet of anger, frustration, conflict, war, violence, and aggression in square to Uranus, which is unpredictability and has a lot to do with the mind, right? So people acting crazy because of their beliefs. We're still within the full moon portal. Not a good weekend to be out in really big crowds or going to protests. Not very safe, to be honest with you. The parade, it's interesting that this military parade is happening, but we're also having the Israel-Iran attacks, of course, with Mars square Uranus. And then on the same day, Saturday, there's going to be military parade, 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, a day-long festival with music performances, fireworks in the nation's capital. It's a parade and festival coinciding with President Trump's 79th birthday and Flag Day. The day kicks off at about 8:15 a.m. with a wreath-laying ceremony. It's going to be live streamed. To be honest with you guys, and some of you guys may say, "Oh my God, Meg, you're being so negative." This makes me nervous. I don't like that this is happening on this day astrologically. And if you feel to send prayers out to Washington, the military, President Trump, I invite you guys to do that, because this is going to be very intense. There can be astrologically a propensity for disruption. Uranus is disruption in square to Mars. I always say Mars square Uranus, those are the two energizer bunnies. Energy, electricity, thunderstorms. You can't make this stuff up. It all shows up in the astrology. This is an X post from MJ Ultra. Interesting. There's reportedly a storm ruled by Uranus coming in on Saturday, and today Trump said, if it does, that's okay. It will bring you good luck. Odd thing to say given the context. So let's just take a little listen to what President Trump said about this. Here we go.
Coming together to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army with a grand parade, a military parade that I don't think we've ever seen the likes of what you're going to see. I hope the weather's okay, but actually, if it's not, that brings you good luck. And that's okay too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the tanks at all. It doesn't affect the soldiers coming together to.
If they did call it off due to lightning, that would actually not be a bad thing, because the astrology is so intense. Also on the same day, on Sunday, so two major challenging aspects. So we start off the day 5:46 a.m. on Sunday, okay, with exact, is that the Mars square Uranus? Yeah, exact Mars square Uranus starting off in the morning Eastern time. Then exact Jupiter square Saturn, 10:36 a.m. So the morning going into the afternoon, the whole day, the whole weekend, very intense. Jupiter square Saturn, right? Even though Jupiter is exalted in Cancer now as a few days ago, this is going to be a very positive influence for the whole rest of the year. This Jupiter in Cancer transit is starting with a square to Saturn. Jupiter is expansion in square to Saturn of governments, issues with the governments, politicians, law and order. Saturn is in Aries, military. Will there be a need because of these protests for military law? I don't want that to be the case, but saying astrologically, that could be something that happens. So people's beliefs are triggered, people's anger and frustration is triggered. It's a volatile energy this weekend. We've got the moon in Aquarius. When does the moon go into Aquarius? On the morning of Saturday Eastern time. So for most of the weekend, we've got the moon in Aquarius. It'll be conjunct Pluto on Saturday. Yeah, this is really intense. So please, you guys, check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. Check yourselves before you put yourself in any weird position, any really unstable place or position or around people like that. Be ready for some weird events. It's going to be weird. It's going to be a very weird weekend. And, you know, we can be really creatively inspired with these squares. We can be pushed to work with where have we been slacking off. We're going to feel really likely energized and maybe even a little bit ADD and have some nervous tension. So, yeah, it's a lot all at once. Let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling with the energy, and let's pull some cards for us for going into this weekend. When it's good, and I'm honest with you guys about that. And when it's freaking weird, I'm also honest with you guys about that. So you can appreciate my honesty. You know, there's some astrologers out there that every day is the best day ever, and you can override the transits. Don't be negative. Okay, it's literally the astrological weather. This is a weekend of don't play with the astrological weather. Don't play with it. This is a weekend of get grounded, eat really nourishing food, drink really good water, be around positive people. Do not be around people that you might get into a confrontation with the Mars square Uranus, because that could get messed up. Let go of other people's drama as well, because you'll get burnt out, Spirit's saying. Okay, and let's pull some cards for messages from the universe for us as we go into this weekend here. Moving out of troubled waters, Six of Swords, King of Cups. We're on the right track. What else have we got here? Ooh, Knight of Swords, things moving fast. Two Swords, one Cup. Let's do a bonus card. I always like to do a bonus card. The Hierophant. Ooh. Yeah, the Hierophant is like the one who like the teacher, right? Sharing the wisdom. This is making me feel people are really in their beliefs. Do not take things personally from, don't take other people's projections personally. Okay. Look, he says, understand your beliefs, values, and boundaries. Don't play with the energy this weekend and think, oh, I'll try to wake that person up and have a 2-hour conversation with them about the Illuminati. It's not going to work. You might trigger someone into literally a mental breakdown, or you might have the weirdest fight of your life. You don't need to force anybody to wake up. Okay. And also check your own, check what you're putting on to other people as well. Check who your teachers and your mentors are. Right? Lynn, don't take the bait. Do not take the bait because you might get tested on it this weekend. And it might be a space where you do really want to speak out. But I love that King of Cups. That's what we can balance out all this fire and crazy electricity with. Support yourself. Support yourself before you can support others. Yes, Joey, observe, observe, observe. Okay, it's so interesting because intuitively, sometimes I get swear words just because of like the intensity of what I'm feeling in the moment. And I'm feeling the universe say, don't even fucking go there. Don't feed conflict, because if you do, it's going to be really intense and interesting. Like you're going to get burnt out. You're going to feel really messed up. If there's someone that you're having a conflict with, if there's someone that it could go a little pear-shaped with, maybe reschedule. It's not a good weekend to be playing around with the energy. This is a weekend where most of you guys who listen to our channels here, you're like me, you're empaths and you're really, really sensitive. This is a weekend of like really doing your own self-care. Take the salt bath, go swim in a lake, go swim in the ocean, go barefoot, go for a hike, go be creative. Spend time around like-minded people who, not to say like-minded relationships are perfect, but places where you won't, you're not going to go off into a huge fight. Knight of Swords. Be fearless in your boundaries. Yeah, Jane, do not engage. Be fearless in your boundaries, the universe is saying. Okay? It's better for you even if you're really uncomfortable with it. I know I got my Mars in Cancer. Okay? So as I say this to you, I'm saying it to myself. I do not like having to put up a boundary when I know it's Mars in Cancer is really difficult. Shout out to all my Mars in Cancers. Anyways, I know it's difficult, but it's better put the boundary up and say no fearlessly, because you know if something's going to be weird, if it doesn't feel right to see a person, if you're acting out of a self-sabotaging habit. Be fearless in the boundaries and honoring yourself first. By you honoring yourself first, that's helping everybody together moving out of the troubled waters that we've been in. You can't save anybody and put them on the boat. People have to step onto the boat themselves. Okay, exactly, Jenny. Trying to live here, and here's another thing with this Mars square Uranus. Tech issues. I've been having like tech issues the past few days. So sorry about that, you guys. I just lost my train of thought. See, it's wonky. The energy is freaking wonky. Yeah. King of Wands. Oh, here. Be in your empowerment. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to say, you know what, I'm so sorry, but could we actually reschedule to another time? Or, you know what, that doesn't work for me and I don't want to get into the argument about it. I hope what I'm saying makes sense. The card just dropped out of my hand. Yeah, and there's issues with tech. We had yesterday huge tech issues happening. All those different platforms went down, right? Yeah, there can be issues with tech. Uranus rules tech, internet. Woo! Uranus is electricity, lightning, storms, energy. Mars is energy, life force. So also in medical astrology, if you're feeling like anxious, buzzed up, it's because of the Mars square Uranus. do extra grounding. It's a lot, you guys. Before I finish up here, I want to mention as well that Janine and I are going to be doing this Opening the Psychic Senses workshop live on Sunday, June 24th at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can either join us live or join the replay. And there's unlimited watch time that you get with this. I see I'm freezing up there. Sorry, you guys. And this is part 3 of this series. You can use code opening10 all in one word to get 10% off. And this is available at the Beyond Mystic Academy. Also, right after today's Daily Astro is the Coco Show, the weekly Coco Show with Coco on the Beyond Mystic Rumble, YouTube, and X channels. So you guys can go check that out as well. And this weekend, we've got the Psychic Tarot Show with the Shala happening and my Beyond Astro also on Beyond Mystic. So let's breathe through this, you guys. We're going to get through this. It's a weekend of wonk yet again. And I love living through these times with all of you out there. Sending you all so much love. And I will see you on the other side. Bye, everyone.